So, your friends think you're crazy. Your partner rolls their eyes when you mention torque curves at dinner. Your family doesn't understand why you spend Saturdays washing a car that's already clean. They see your obsession with Porsches and think you've lost your mind. You see a car worth more than a down payment on a house. You see rear seats that can't fit a bag of groceries. You see oil changes that cost more than their car payment. You see someone who'd rather drive to nowhere than spend time with normal people doing normal things. You wonder if I'm having some kind of crisis, trying to feel young again with a machine that goes too fast for any sensible purpose. And from where you're standing, watching me check tire pressures for the third time this week, you're not wrong. Those rear seats really are a joke. The maintenance schedule reads like a mortgage payment plan. The insurance company thinks I'm planning to race professionally. The fuel economy makes your SUV look like a Prius. But here's what you haven't understood yet. Every one of us remembers our first moment. Not our first Porsche, our first moment of clarity. That split second when mechanical engineering becomes emotional truth. Let me take you back to 1948, to a sawmill in Gmünd, Austria. Ferry Porsche and 200 workers hand-built the 356 No. 1 Roadster. Not because the world needed another car, but because they believed driving could be more than transportation. That belief hammered into aluminum and steel, infected everyone who drove it. We're not obsessed with cars. We're infected by an idea that's been spreading for 76 years. When I see a 911, I don't see what you see. You see an expensive toy. I see the result of 19 overall wins at Le Mans, more than any other manufacturer. I see the DNA of the 917K that covered 5,335 kilometers in 24 hours at an average of 222 kilometers per hour in 1971, proving that speed and reliability could dance together. I see the bloodline of the 956 and 962 that dominated endurance racing so thoroughly they changed the rules to stop them. That flat six engine that sounds so weird to you, it's not just making noise, it's speaking a language that started when Ferdinand Porsche realized placing the engine behind the rear axle would provide traction that defies physics. The Boxer configuration drops the center of gravity so low the car pivots like a compass needle. Every single 911 since 1963 has refined this formula without abandoning it, because physics doesn't go out of style. You think we're stuck in the past, but Porsche is dragging us into the future. The new 911 GTS T-Hybrid doesn't just stick batteries in an old design. It uses an e-turbo system that spools instantly, eliminating lag while adding 54 horsepower from pure electricity. The result hits 60 miles per hour in 2.6 seconds, but numbers don't capture what happens when your spine tries to escape through the seat. Even going full electric, Porsche refuses to build soulless transportation. The Taycan proved an EV could dance through corners, talk through the steering wheel, and lap the Nürburgring without begging for mercy. The latest version pushes past 340 miles of real-world range while charging from 10 to 80% in under 18 minutes. The Turbo S variant decimates 60 miles per hour in 2.4 seconds while still feeling like a Porsche, not a computer with wheels. But here's what really matters to people like me. Porsche isn't abandoning combustion like everyone else. At the Haru Oni plant in Chile, they're using wind power to turn carbon dioxide and hydrogen into synthetic gasoline. Current 911 GT3 Cup race cars already burn this e-fuel, proving our future 911s can scream to 9,000 RPM while producing net zero emissions. That's not giving up, that's fighting for what matters. The racing program isn't ancient history. The 963 prototype battles for wins right now in the World Endurance Championship and IMSA Series. Its twin-turbo V8 hybrid powertrain will trickle down to cars we can buy, just like every racing Porsche before it. When we spend stupid money on options, we're not paying for prestige. We're funding development of the next generation. Michael Maurer guards Porsche design like a temple priest. His three-word philosophy, focus, tension, purpose, ensures every model shares the same fly-line roof arc, the same rear haunches, the same driver-centric layout. A Cayman looks related to a Cayenne because they share DNA, not marketing. When you understand this, you understand why we can spot a Porsche from 1,000 yards. The quality obsession borders on mental illness, which is probably why we relate to it. J.D. Power ranked Porsche highest in their appeal study 8 times in 10 years, not for gadgets or gimmicks, but for the way switches click with mechanical precision, the way doors close with a perfect thunk, the way everything feels hewn from solid metal instead of clipped together from plastic. Reliability matches the lunacy. The 911 consistently wins most dependable premium sports car. Engines that shriek to redline also cruise for 200,000 miles when maintained properly. We're not buying fragile toys. We're buying mechanical companions that outlast marriages, which is fortunate given how much time we spend with them. Walter Rorrell still personally signs off on every GT department chassis. The same Walter Rorrell who said a garage without a 911 is just a hole. He's in his 70s now, but still drives development cars at 10/10ths. Still refuses to let engineers numb the steering or soften the brake feel. When you wonder why every Porsche steers like it's hardwired to your nervous system, thank Walter. The Porsche Club of America counts over 150,000 members across 148 regions. We run 3,800 events annually, not because we have to, but because misery loves company and obsession demands congregation. Track days where dentists dice with plumbers. Charity drives that justify our addiction by helping others. Coffee meets where strangers become friends over shared sickness. Luftgekühlt gatherings elevate this madness to art. The 2025 Luft 11 show lands in Durham, North Carolina, displaying hundreds of air-cooled Porsches like sculptures. Families spread blankets beside million-dollar resto mods. Kids sketch dream cars while adults explain why their 1973 needs a 3.2-liter conversion. It's not about money, it's about belonging to something bigger than yourself. Studio F.A. Porsche, born in 1972, spreads the infection beyond cars. They design sunglasses, titanium watches, carbon-fibered luggage, all following the same principle that function dictates form, but form should make your heart race. You can spot us even without our cars. We're the ones whose possessions all seem designed by the same obsessive perfectionist. Let me tell you about my first moment of understanding. 5:47 a.m. Empty mountain road, third gear at 5,500 RPM. The morning air dense enough to add power. The way the rear end loaded up through a decreasing radius corner. The way everything mechanical spoke directly to my hands, my feet, my spine. For those seconds, nothing else existed. No mortgage, no deadlines, no responsibilities. Just pure, crystalline presence. That's what you're missing when you see us as crazy. We're not escaping reality. We're accessing a different one. At 7,000 RPM, with the tack needle swinging toward redline, there's no past, no future, only now. The steering wheel transmits more truth than any conversation. The brake pedal provides more feedback than any therapist. The throttle offers more control than anything else in our lives. You think the Cayenne and Panamera betrayed the brand, but they saved it. The profits from SUVs and sedans fund the GT department's fever dreams. Without soccer moms buying Macans, there's no Cayman GT4 RS shrieking its naturally aspirated flat 6 to 9,000 RPM. We understand this devil's bargain and accept it gratefully. The future balances on a knife edge between progress and purity. hybrid systems that add performance instead of weight, synthetic fuels that preserve combustion without guilt, rumors of Formula One partnerships that would test Porsche engineering against the absolute peak of motorsport, electric motors that assist instead of replace, technology that enhances the connection instead of severing it. The numbers tell part of the story. 0 to 60 in 2.4 seconds, 340 miles of range, 19 minutes to charge, 9,000 RPM red lines, 532 hybrid horsepower. But numbers don't explain why grown adults cry when they achieve the perfect heel-toe downshift. Numbers don't capture the satisfaction of a flawlessly executed apex. Numbers don't convey why we'll drive 500 miles to roads we've already driven just to drive them again. When you see me in the garage at midnight adjusting things that don't need adjusting, I'm not avoiding you. I'm preparing, like a musician tuning an instrument before a concert. I'm ensuring everything is perfect for tomorrow morning's symphony. The tire pressures, the fluid levels, the clean glass, they're all part of a ritual that transforms a machine into something more. The online forums you mock are support groups for the similarly afflicted. We share torque specifications like recipes. We debate oil weights like philosophy. We post photos of perfect parking jobs like proud parents. We're not antisocial, we're selectively social with people who understand why camshaft timing matters more than small talk. You wonder why I take the long way everywhere, why I leave early for appointments, why I park in the furthest corner of every lot. It's because every mile in a Porsche is an opportunity for perfection. Every corner is a chance to get it exactly right. Every straightaway is a moment to hear the flat six clear its throat. We're not wasting time, we're collecting moments. This obsession costs more than money. It costs time, attention, social capital. We miss brunches for track days. We skip parties for car meets. We spend vacations driving to places we've already been. We plan routes like military operations. We check weather forecasts for driving conditions, not comfort. We're not normal, and we've made peace with that. But here's what we get in return. In a world of digital distraction, we get analog focus. In a life of compromise, we get mechanical honesty. In a society of isolation, we get a global community that speaks the same language, regardless of actual language. In an existence of routine, we get moments of pure, undiluted joy. So, when you see that look in my eyes at dinner, I'm not ignoring you. I'm remembering this morning's perfect downshift into turn 7. When I disappear on Sunday mornings, I'm not avoiding family time. I'm attending church where the sermon is sung by 6 cylinders and the congregation navigates corners. When I spend money on tires instead of furniture, I'm not being irresponsible. I'm investing in the only therapy that works. The next time you shake your head at my obsession, remember this. You find your peace in yoga studios, meditation apps, or therapy sessions. I find mine at 8,000 RPM on a perfect road with a perfect car doing exactly what Ferdinand Ferry Porsche dreamed it would do in that Austrian sawmill. Your method costs less, but mine makes my soul sing soprano. That's why we're obsessed, not with metal and leather and glass, but with the feeling of being completely alive in a world designed to make us numb. The Porsche is just the key that unlocks that feeling. And once you've felt it, everything else feels like settling for less than life offers.